should Giannis get a move? And then I thought, yes, Giannis should definitely get a move if he wants. He's done more than enough for that organization. One of the best resumes we've seen in the last 10 years. A player who mentally is all the way locked in. Players like this don't really come across the NBA right now. Will Giannis get a move from the Bucks this year? Without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it.
A random NBA blog called Basketball Forever says the Mavericks are frontrunners in 2025 to acquire Giannis if the Bucks fall short. And I know Woj just retired, but let's just say Basketball Forever is not going to be his replacement. This does not work financially at all. If I had $1 for every Giannis jersey swap, I'd have at least 50 bucks. Brother, you'd be in the Forbes Top 100, and that is correct. No superstar has been in more trade rumors. Remember when an anonymous GM said he's going to Miami? Or that the Warriors have long wanted Giannis? Brian Windhorst said the whole league's obviously watching what happens with Giannis. Certainly the Knicks are one of them. How many rumors can one man have? But actually, there is a reason for all this smoke. There's a very good chance Giannis is on a different team to start next year. And I am not just talking dumb trade rumors. These are stone cold facts. However, the team that
When I was first going to make this video, I was first really disappointed with Giannis because I thought there's something really lacking in today's NBA, and that is loyalty. And Giannis is one of those few players that seems to be loyal to his team. However, we judge players on winning. At the end of the day, we criticize players and we praise players based on whether they have won something at the end of the season or not. So if Giannis wants to win, and if the Bucks are not winning in a sense, should Giannis get a move? And then I thought, yes, Giannis should definitely get a move if he wants. He's done more than enough for that organization. And if they bought in Dame, for example, but if that's not enough and Giannis wants to go and win somewhere else, he should definitely do that. Because at the end of the day, us as fans, we're going to come back to this, and that, I mean, not me, but a lot of fans will. They're going to come back to this and they're going to judge Giannis on whether he has won or not. So we can't criticize a player for... We can't criticize players for winning or not winning, but then at the same time be mad if they want to be loyal or not be loyal. If he wants to leave to go on and win more things, he should definitely do that. But anyways, let's carry on.
That is most likely to land him hasn't been mentioned at all. And I want to get to who that is, but Giannis hasn't been afraid to threaten the Bucks if they don't compete. I mean, some players want you to think that they're forever loyal, like Damian Lillard, but Giannis does not care. The most extreme...
And you can't be passive, because again, these organizations, a lot of them, they're just happy sitting back and getting that extra revenue, getting that extra profit. And if whether you win or not, it doesn't really hurt the balance sheet too much. It doesn't matter, because they don't have to go out of their way to bring in these extra players and spend that extra money. You have to put the pressure. And again, I was going to be mad at Giannis when I was first going to make this video. But no, I'm going to 100% back Giannis. If he wants to leave and the team is not winning, he should definitely be able to.
Extreme example was at the beginning of last year. I'm a Milwaukee Buck, but most importantly, I'm a winner. I want to be a winner, so comfort zone doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, I want to create new memories. I want to win a lot of championships. If there's a better situation for me to win the Larry O'Brien, I have to take that better situation. Dude, how more clear can he get? And because of this, the Bucks have made wild trades to keep him happy. Their first year really breaking out was 2019. Look before that, it was all like 41 wins, 33 wins. But in 2019, not only did Giannis win his first MVP, but they had good seasons from Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Malcolm Brogdon, and hired Mike Budenholzer. Coach Bud redesigned their offense around Giannis and made Brook Lopez an elite 3-and-D big. That season ended in the second round to Kawhi Leonard's insane championship run, but the next year, the Bucks lost in the second round to Miami. So to make Giannis happy and not leave in free agency, they traded for Drew Holiday. The Bucks got Drew for 2 players and control of 5 first-round picks. Giannis was so...
Yeah, this part pretty much summarized. The Bucks, they've paid their dues. Let's say they've paid their dues. They've given Giannis the championship. They've built teams around him to win the championships. Again, as AM is saying here, they've been doing this since 2019. So let's not paint the organization as this bomb organization that's not doing anything for Giannis. They're definitely working towards helping Giannis win more championships. But here's the thing, Giannis, and this is something I say about a lot of elite athletes that end up winning things, he's a bit gun in the head. He wants to win no matter what. He's won one, now he's even more hungry to win more, especially when he sees what Jokic is doing, what Tatum and Jalen Brown are doing. I'm pretty sure Giannis feels like he should be the one winning. So he wants to win multiple championships, and again, very good that the Bucks were able to win one championship, but Giannis definitely wants more. And if they're not going to give him that, then he's going to move, and he's right to move.
So pumped he signed a 5-year supermax before the season. They were all in with no way out, having just dealt all their assets. But in the playoffs, they were screwed. The Nets were on top 2-0. Jeff T even admits they were booking flights to Cancun.
The first game we get beat by like 40. I go to his office like, Coach, I don't think we about to win this championship. Like, he felt like he was about to get fired. The second game, we get blasted by like 55. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's not even close. We don't stand a chance. Kyrie rolls his ankle third game, and you could see like the light switch hit. Like, oh, we can beat him now. And Giannis stepped up, Chris, Drew, they all started just playing phenomenal. And now we knew we get past them, we was winning the championship.
Which is exactly what they did. But since then, it's been a nightmare. So they tried the all-in trade again, but it backfired. In 2022, Chris Middleton hurt his knee and they lost in round 2 to Boston. The next year, Giannis got hurt and they lose to 8 seed Miami as the 1 seed. So to make Giannis happy, they dealt Drew, Grayson Allen, and controlled 3 firsts for Damian Lillard. Now they have one of the worst futures in all of basketball. It is the Bucks, Clippers, and Suns, who have an old, struggling roster with 0 draft picks to trade. So how do they...
Yeah, but I think the difference here between the Bucks and those other teams is that the Bucks have Giannis, and Giannis is still in a position to win more championships, or at least, I mean, if the team is built around them. Because if you look at the Suns, I don't think KD is the same player. I don't think KD can take you all the way there with that team anymore. And he said another team. I think he said the Clippers. The Clippers are done. The Clippers are done. They've been done. 2020 and 2021 were the best years to try and win something. They didn't do it. The Clippers will not win anything else. But now with the Bucks, again, as he said, they've been injured multiple times. And if we're talking about the best players in the NBA, Giannis is easily. I don't know if I would say Giannis is easily the best, because he still has to compete with the likes of Jokic and Luka. But Giannis is definitely 100% the top 3 player in the NBA right now. So you've got a top 3 player in the NBA. You've got Dame. You've got Chris Middleton. You've got Brook Lopez. You still have a very good team. You still have a very good chance winning the Eastern Conference. You have to go through the Celtics, but again, Giannis against Tatum and Brown, I still feel like they definitely have a chance. So they have a chance. They've been injured, so I don't know if I'd put the Bucks in the same category as those other 2 teams, because the Bucks, they still have a very, very good chance at winning the championship. They still have a very good chance at doing very well in the regular season, and then of course being in higher seed, and then because you're higher, you get to play against lower teams. That automatically sets you a place for the second round. So the Bucks don't have a chance. It's just about one, being healthy. I think that's very important for this team, because since they've won, they've not really been healthy for the past 3 years. And then, could they make extra trades? I mean, I don't know, because again, this duo of Dame and Giannis is already one of the best duos in the NBA, and we've not really seen them in a deep post-season run yet. So I still feel like the Bucks have a very good chance at winning the championship. It's just their biggest challenge right now is the Celtics, and that's why they have to do well in the regular season, so they don't go against the Celtics in the first 3 rounds.
Get out of this mess? Well, there are 4 ways to improve your roster. The first is cap space, but the Bucks are so over the cap, they're one of just 4 teams in the second apron. Next is good vets to trade. The Bucks have none outside of Giannis. Good young players? Bucks got 0. And draft picks. So let's look at Milwaukee's pick situation. 2025 through 27 goes to New Orleans from the Jrue Holiday trade years ago. 28 through 30 goes to Portland from the Dame trade. Then finally, in 2031, they have 1 pick to trade. All their seconds are gone except 2031 as well. So the Bucks have been all in and dealt virtually everything to get a trophy, but it ain't working. So what are they gonna do?
But they can still win. That's the difference. That's the difference between the Bucks and there's all other teams. Is that the Bucks, they can still win. They just need to make sure the team stays healthy, because the duo of Giannis and Dame is so good, and we've not really seen them in a deep postseason run yet. So their future does look bleak. However, their present situation, I still feel like they can make the most out of it.
Well, there's only one option if this year doesn't work. Trade Giannis. Think about it. Giannis will still have 2 years left on his contract next offseason, so he's got major value. They get a ton of
And that's the issue. I feel like with all of those draft picks gone, and fair enough, if you trade Giannis, you're going to get a lot back in. But if they trade Giannis, one of the best players we've seen of the last 10 years, one of the best resumes we've seen in the last 10 years, a player who mentally is all the way locked in. Players like this don't really come across the NBA right now, and even now, just because of what Jokic is doing, people are forgetting how good Giannis is. Giannis is easily the second, if not even competing for first best player in the NBA when you take into account how amazing he is defensively. Jokic is a wizard offensively, but defensively, he's nowhere near Giannis's level. So you can make an argument for Giannis being the best player in the NBA still today. Probably a bit weak, but you can still make an argument. You're going to trade a player like that for a few draft picks that may not turn out to be anything special. Like, look at the situation with the Sixers, for example. I say you go in with Giannis. You go all the way in with Giannis, and you just try and keep everyone healthy, because they can still win another championship. They can still win this year.
picks and a good young player to build with, and the new owner of the Bucks probably doesn't like paying a huge tax bill for a team that's going nowhere. He'd be happy to trade. And Giannis is turning 30. It's an age that many people take stock of their life. And for a guy who's threatened to leave, don't you think he'd be wondering about a trade? Yeah, next offseason makes perfect sense for Giannis to leave if Doc Rivers can't lead them to a title. So where would he go? Well, there's one team no one talks about. What Milwaukee wants back is a ton of picks and a good young player. So how do the rumored teams stack up? Well, the Mavericks have no franchise-level young players and one draft pick, 2025. They're at the bottom of the realistic list. But the Warriors? They've got 3 first-round picks, 4 swaps, and several good young players to trade. Kuminga, Moody, and Podziemski. I wouldn't count them out. The Heat, 2 picks and good young players like Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, and Nikola Jovic. But another franchise blows all that out the water. Several teams have hoarded draft picks for a moment like this. ESPN actually ranked the value of future draft picks, and the top 5 are the Spurs, Thunder, Nets, Jazz, and Rockets. All have a war chest that Milwaukee...
I'm seeing the vision, but I don't know if Giannis and Victor can play on the same team. But to the Thunder, to be fair, the Jazz, they've been trying to rebuild, but I still think that's the right team. I think it's the Thunder. You put Shea and Giannis together, that's at least a Western Conference final team. That's at least a Western Conference final team. The Thunder may just be the team
he would love over the Warriors or Heat. But what if a good young player is involved too? What the Bucks really want for Giannis is a boatload of picks and a young star, similar to what OKC got for Paul George. So I looked at who the Ringer has in their top 100 players. Obviously, we're not going to include Victor Wembanyama or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but what other players could be involved? Well, outside of Wemby, the Spurs have just Devin Vassell at number 74 in the top 100. The Nets have number 94, Nick Claxton. A bunch of picks and Nick Claxton for Giannis, no thanks. The Jazz have 28, Lauri Markkanen, and 96, Colin Sexton. But what is the point of getting Giannis if you give up Markkanen? The Rockets have 3. Alperen Şengün at 44, number 69, Jalen Green, and 98, Jabari Smith. Now we're talking. But number 1 is the Thunder. They have the 40th player, Jalen Williams, and 43, Chet Holmgren. I believe the Thunder are in the best position of anyone to land Giannis. I mean, why has Sam Presti been hoarding all these draft picks for a trade like this? Giannis is a perfect fit with SGA, a lethal pick and roll. Dealing either J-Dub or Chet hurts, but a player like Giannis puts them over the top. Can you imagine, after all the pain of breaking up the KD, Russ, Harden Big Three, they finally win a championship in OKC? Plus, they have one more year together to see more of this roster.
Yeah, duo with Shea and Giannis is disgusting. But that Dame would be so pissed off that. But this is what I'm saying is these trade rumors. There's definitely a chance if Giannis gets upset or something, like he doesn't want to be with the team anymore. But I still think this team can win. This team can still win a championship. Like it's not impossible for them to win a championship. They can still do it.
But the second team is Houston. They traded for the Suns' future picks and have good young players to
I don't want to hear anything from Houston. Not Houston, please.
do it. So I believe the Giannis rumors are real, but not to the teams that everyone talks about. But
anyways, guys, we'll stop right there. W video. I'll leave the link to AM channel in the description if you want to go and check them out. I appreciate you guys watching to the end, and as per usual, I'll see you soon.